Welcome back to the SoftGuard 101 training course. In this new section, we'll explore the following topics: prerequisites for account creation, graphic interface and filters, and account creation. Let's get started. Before we delve into the Account Administrator module, it's essential to meet certain prerequisites. These involve entering specific data that we will later use in creating a monitoring account. To get started, navigate to the Administrator module, then go to the Systems menu and select Configuration. Here, you'll find various system tables, and for today's focus, we'll center on the Dynamic Data category. The initial table is labeled Types, and it serves as a registry for all the target categories that the Alarm Receiving Center will monitor. Fixed targets encompass a range of locations such as residences, businesses, schools, or factories, while mobile targets encompass vehicles, individuals, or pets. Each table comes with a toolbar at the top, featuring buttons like New to create a new entry, Delete to remove a record, and Filter to search for information using different criteria. For instance, you can filter data by code, description, or condition. After applying filters, hit the search button to display the filtered records, or all to revert to the default view. Let's add a new target type. In the code field, enter a unique identification code for this entry, which can be used for filtering. Then, provide a name in the description field. Next, specify whether this target is fixed or mobile. If your company offers patrol services, you can associate a patrol service with each target type. Lastly, you can assign an icon to identify this target type, which can be handy in the MapGuard module for geolocation. Remember to press the Save button to store your changes. Moving on to the Countries and Provinces table. Here you'll create location records for the targets or accounts you'll create. This tool allows you to build a hierarchical structure, with countries at the top, followed by states or provinces, and cities beneath those. To add a new country, right-click on the root folder named Locations, then select New Place and enter the country's name by double-clicking on the newly created record. For provinces or states, follow similar steps, but instead, right-click on the respective country under which you want to add a province. In the Emergency Lists table, you can create lists to be linked to specific alarm events. These lists are used to filter the available contact lists during alarm event handling. Click New to create a new emergency list, add a description for it, and then hit Save. In the Panels table, you'll register information about alarm panels used by your organization. This information will be useful when creating monitoring accounts. Click New and fill in the required data, reference code for the panel, a description, and any additional notes. If it's a GPRS panel, mark the corresponding checkbox before saving. Within the Categorization and Resolutions tables, you can tailor various potential results for the actions performed by operators. For instance, user testing, equipment failure, and user notified. In the Call Resolutions table, you can categorize calls outcomes, such as answering machine, unresponsive, busy line, or successful call. In the Doctors, Hospitals, and Medical Insurances table, you can register information related to emergency medical services and ambulances. This feature is particularly handy for companies that dispatch ambulances, notify clinics and hospitals, or arrange for private emergency medical services. To create a new entry, click New and provide details such as the name, address, phone number, and the type of record. Then press Save. Next, in the Holidays tab, add information about all holidays. This data is used within the Schedules feature to bypass normal controls for an account. Click New and complete the fields for name, date, start time, and end time before saving. In the SMS/Mails Templates table, you can add templates for automatic notifications through text messages, emails, or push notifications. Create a new template by specifying a 3-character code for identification, a description, and the actual message body. You can include preloaded system tags/variables within the message to personalize it. For further details on using and configuring templates, consult Infotech 210. Within the Groups tab, you can create alarm code groups. These groups serve as a filtering tool. The Dealers table allows you to record information about dealers, which can be utilized in various ways within the Desktop Security Suite platform. Dealers are primarily designed for wholesale providers to identify each of the dealers or companies outsourcing monitoring services to their alarm receiving center. They can also be utilized to categorize accounts based on specific criteria, such as service type or region. To add a new dealer, click New and provide the required details, including code, description, address, phone number, email, and you can even upload an image for reference. Click Save. In the Jurisdictional Phone Numbers section, you can input local emergency numbers for specific provinces or states. When a state is selected within an account, all local jurisdictional numbers associated with that state will automatically appear. Click New and complete the necessary fields, including the emergency list to which the jurisdictional contact will be linked, a descriptive name, any additional information, the phone number, and specify whether manual or automatic dialing is used. You'll need to set the pre-digit, the dial tone through the telephone exchange, and the post-digit, the internal or extension number. Lastly, in the Installers and Technicians table, you can record information about all the technicians or installers working for your organization. Create a new entry and provide details such as their name, the company they work for, address, phone number, and email. Don't forget to press Save to store your changes. The Account Administrator module offers efficient management of monitoring accounts, allowing for easy creation and modification. It also provides various filtering options, making it easy to locate records and generate reports. Upon entering the module, you'll see a view that lists all the account records stored in the system. This view is organized into columns and can be customized to suit your preferences. When the affiliation filter is active, you will see summarized information for each account, including the dealer, number, name, and details of location and contact. Deactivating this filter grants access to more detailed information, including the latest alarm event and the status of the accounts. You can rearrange the order of columns to your convenience by simply dragging and dropping them. You can also define which columns are visible to you. This is achieved by clicking on the right margin of any header and selecting the checkboxes for the information you wish to see. It's important to note that customization changes are stored in your browser's cookies and are associated with the specific user and browser that applies them. The filter bar allows you to categorize accounts based on various criteria, such as accounts with communication or power failure, enabled accounts, accounts in testing mode, which do not generate alerts during maintenance tasks, removal requests, partitions, or all, which removes previous filters. Furthermore, the module includes an advanced search engine. Simply fill in the fields and search for accounts that meet those criteria. On the left side, you will find the Actions column, providing quick access to system functions such as account modification, copying templates for new account creation, changing account status, managing events, and viewing partitions. At the top, you'll see an additional toolbar with options that may vary based on user permissions. Multi-Monitor allows real-time visualization of alarm events. Georeference Accounts enables you to add location markers on the map for accounts with filled address fields, but empty latitude and longitude values. Dealers grants access to the contact list of technicians and installers registered for each dealer. Modification Requests allows approval or rejection of change requests submitted by end users through the Client Web Access module. Victimizers provides access to the list of aggressors registered in the system, specially designed for gender violence situations. Export permits the export of records to an Excel spreadsheet. Close All closes all active tabs. To create a new account, click on New Account. Complete the following 4 mandatory fields: dealer, the distributor responsible for the account setup, or the account segment. Type, the class of target to be monitored. Account, the account ID or number, typically consisting of 4 alphanumeric characters. It should match what the installer programmed into the alarm panel during system installation. Name, a description referring to the account holder or the target being monitored. Press Create, and the advanced editing window will open. The information you'll enter next is complimentary and not mandatory. Account tab, General Account Information. Street, city, province, or state, and postal code where the alarm panel is installed. Delivery address, you can record a second address for documentation delivery or a secondary contact link. Phone number and email. Password, this is what the operator will use to identify the user and validate received alarm events. Permission, this is what the user will use to validate calls or information requests from the alarm receiving center. Both fields work together as a password and counter password, validating the user and the operator's identity. IMEI for special accounts, typically those intended for tracking mobile devices. In an alarm panel monitoring account, this field is often left blank. Type of target. You can register the person responsible for panel installation. Account activation date. Service, start date of the monitoring service. This date does not interfere with signal reception. It's only for administrative purposes. Effective, define whether it's an account belonging to a client or an account used for functional testing or staff training. Extended ID, you can complete the additional digits corresponding to the account number in cases where the associated number contains more than 4 characters. Observation, free-form text for recording additional information. Location, you can enter free-form text to enhance the location details of the monitored target. For example, you can note the color of the door, floor, and apartment, rural area directions, cross streets, or nearby points of interest as reference for the account. Latitude and longitude are used to record the coordinates of the target on the map. They are filled automatically after geopositioning the target. Time zone, to which the subscriber's account belongs. Additional data. Web access. Enable if the account will use the client web access module. Key. Identify whether the monitoring center has physical access to the property. Relevance. You can assign a level of priority to the account. This is used when 2 events with the same priority are received. The event belonging to the account with the higher relevance level will be opened first. Options include no control, low, medium, or high priority. Show main photo defines whether the account image will be automatically displayed to the operator when an alarm signal is received. Situation tab defines the status of the account and its condition upon signal reception. Enabled, this is the normal state where events are recorded, displayed in reports, and may trigger alerts that operators must respond to. Disabled sets the account to an inactive state. Received events will appear in the event history, but will not trigger alerts on the operator's screen. On test, ideal for technical visits where incoming events won't trigger operator alerts and will be auto-processed by the system. This minimizes the need for human resources to respond to false alarms during maintenance or installation of panel-related components. Test by zones is a variation of the above mode, specifically applying to 1 or more zones, while the remaining zones stay enabled and capable of generating real events. Once the predefined period ends, the account will automatically switch back to the enabled status. The Request Removal button is used to request the permanent removal of the account. It's important to note that the removal can only be done from the admin module by an administrator user. As long as the account is pending removal, the signals will continue to function as if it were in the enabled state. The Self-Monitoring tab allows you to select which events will be automatically processed by the system. These events can generate push notifications, emails, or text messages to the user, but will not appear on the operator's screen. This new monitoring concept, where the central station only handles high-priority events, and allows users to self-manage low-priority events, enables the creation of more user-friendly business models, and reduces the operator's workload. You can determine from which priority level the incoming events will be automatically processed by the system. If you select Priority 1, all events will be automatically processed. To enable automatic event notifications, communication channels and templates must have been chosen and configured in advance. The Documents function allows you to upload various files using any remote or local terminal, such as event reports, the client service contract, or the facility blueprints. You can register individuals who interact with the alarm panel, meaning those who have a code to arm or disarm the panel. Press Add and complete the necessary details: user number, the number programmed by the technician on the panel, name, passphrase or keyword, additional remarks, and the level of control to be applied to this user. Low, open, and close alerts trigger on-screen notifications. Normal, open, and close events will only be displayed on screen if they happen outside of the business hours set in the Schedule tab. High, open, and close events will not be displayed on screen. Click Save. The changes will be indicated with a red dot. Click Save to confirm. You can also upload a photograph for each user if desired. In the Contacts tab, you can specify who should be contacted to verify an incident or receive notifications for events. You can add a new contact from scratch or import pre-existing contacts from another account. You can enter the following details for each contact: name, observation, list, dialing, manual or automatic, contact type, phone number, priority order, phone number prefix and suffix digits. Remote terminal, if active, it will be possible to receive alarm events via text message. Notifications. Define whether this phone will be available to receive manual text message notifications during the handling of an alarm event. You can also set a permission word or phrase to validate user calls or information requests, as well as a keyword or phrase that the operator will use to identify the user and validate alarm events. Click Save to confirm. The Jurisdictional Contacts tab allows you to access contact numbers for public authorities associated with the region selected for the account, such as local police, firefighters, or emergency services for a specific city. In the Zones tab, you can configure the zones linked to this account's alarm panel, such as magnetic contacts or motion sensors. Click Add and fill in the corresponding fields: type, code, name, observation, the alarm code that will be displayed when this zone is activated, emergency list, shows zone photo to the operator. Restoration code allows you to select the restoration event expected after the zone is triggered. Restoration minutes set the time within which the restoration event is expected. Alarm to be generated, choose the alarm code that will be displayed on the screen if the restoration event is not received. Auto process. Enable or disable automatic event processing for events generated due to the lack of restoration in the zone. Here, you can also manage templates to quickly and easily load zones based on the configuration of other accounts. In the Partitions tab, you can create sub-accounts for this main account. A partition results from dividing an alarm panel into groups of zones to identify different areas of that target. Each partition can have different account numbers assigned, which the monitoring center will identify as individual accounts. In the upper area, you can view the partitions of the panel, and in the lower area, the zones. To create a new partition type account, click Add and fill in the required fields. The Notes tab allows you to record account or subscriber conditions. These are free text fields that can be modified by any user with the necessary permissions. There are two types of notes: primary notes and temporary notes. These notes have a start and end date. Notes will be displayed on the operator's screen during the handling of alarm events. The log option is also a free text field similar to notes, but it cannot be modified or deleted. In the Schedules tab, you can set entry and exit controls for the account, which is particularly useful for businesses. It's important to understand that, for the system to validate activations and deactivations outside of regular operating hours, you must establish schedules that define the days and hours of normal operation for this account. You can use templates to simplify the setup process. Additionally, you can input different tolerances to allow for some flexibility in these preloaded schedules. These days and hours will be used to validate openings and closures. If the target has segmented business hours, for instance, it opens at 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and then reopens from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., you'll need to enter each cycle separately. You can establish alternative schedules for specific days, special exceptions, and holidays. In the Data tab, you can observe that any openings or closures outside the established hours or on holidays will generate an alarm event for the operator. In the Medical Information tab, you can input details related to individuals associated with the account. This information is crucial for requesting or dispatching emergency medical services contracted by the user. Data includes the patient's name, associated number, primary physician, health insurance, gender, disability status, ambulance dispatch enablement, whether the person lives alone or not, date of birth, and additional information like allergies or medical conditions. The False Alarm Control option allows you to set a maximum limit for false alarms that an account can generate. Each time an operator categorizes an event as a false alarm, the system deducts an item from this field, triggering visual alerts when this threshold is exceeded. This helps in monitoring equipment issues or identifying if the user requires training. To reduce the rate of false alarms managed by operators, the Test option enables a periodic communication control or heartbeat of the alarm panel. You can specify the frequency in minutes, hours, or days, and the expected signals. Different configurations apply depending on whether the panel is telephone-based, radio-based, or GPRS-based. In the Alarm Panel tab, you can record information about the panel installed in this account. Click on New Panel and select the brand and model. If it has remote commands, choose the corresponding integration. You can describe the physical location of the panel within the subscriber's premises. Caller ID allows you to identify the phone line number connected to the panel if it transmits over the phone line. You can also register information for GPRS panels by selecting the phone number of the SIM card connected to the panel and the telecommunications company operating that SIM card. The Notifications tab enables you to configure periodic reports as well as automatic notifications when alarm events are triggered. Automatic email reports. You can set up historical event reports to be sent to one or multiple recipients of the account. For example, weekly or monthly. Select the date of the next sending, the types of events to include in the report, commonly openings and closures, and specify the email addresses of the recipients. To include more than one recipient, separate their email addresses with a semicolon without spaces in between. Alarm Event Notifications. For SMS notifications, you need an SMS modem or SoftGuard's Smart SMS application. For push notifications, no additional hardware is required, as they are sent through the Smart Panics mobile app. To add a new notification, press the Add Email button. Select which events will trigger email notifications, whether it's all critical events or individual alarm codes. Enter the recipient's email address, separating multiple recipients with a semicolon. Finally, select the template to use for this notification and press Save. Configuring SMS and push notifications follows the same process. The difference is that for SMS messages, you need to select which modem to use, and for push notifications, you choose which Smart Panics users to notify. Given the cost of SMS messages, you can set a maximum limit for text messages within a specific time frame. If this limit is exceeded, the system will automatically switch to email notifications. You can also configure an alert to notify the client of reaching their SMS limit, suggesting a switch to email notifications or purchasing an additional SMS package. From the AWUCC User tab, you can view the end users configured for this account. This user enables both the Client Web Access module and the My Accounts tab in SmartPanics. You can create a new user, assign an existing one, or modify the end user's permissions. The Video Link tab allows you to link cameras, DVRs, and NVRs to the account, enabling real-time image and audio viewing during event management. To use this option, you need to have the Video Verification module. Select which alarm codes will display the cameras on the operator's screen. Choose the associated camera type, either through the standard RTSP protocol or a specific integration. Enter the required data based on the selected camera type, such as username, password, URL or IP, and port. You can assign a general camera for the account or one camera for each zone of the alarm panel. For more detailed camera configuration instructions, please refer to the Video Verification course. In the SmartPanics tab, you can manage the addition, removal, and modification of SmartPanics mobile apps associated with this account. To use this function, you need to have the SmartPanics module as part of your license. Next, you will find various historical reports. Event history. It allows for a combination of extensive filters to gather information about the signal traffic received from the selected account. You can filter by a specific time period, event type, zone, user, and more. This report can be printed, downloaded as a PDF, exported to Excel, or sent via email. Graphical report. This report visualizes a grid divided into 24-hour periods. Its purpose is to identify periods of panel activation or deactivation. Each grid square represents 1 hour of the day, with green indicating the account is open and red indicating it's closed. Icons within some squares on the grid represent alarm events occurring at those times. Call report. This report details all calls made or received and allows you to replay recorded conversations thanks to our logger module. MoneyGuard report. This report provides the client's current account status, billing history, and receipts. Notification report. This report lets you view all notifications sent to this account. It's divided into 5 subtabs: Sent SMS, Received SMS, Emails, SMS converted to email, and push notifications to SmartPanics users. Each push message includes the date and time of its opening. Multimedia report. This report allows you to view multimedia files attached to alarm events, such as images, videos, or audio files sent through the SmartPanics application or from video surveillance cameras. The Scheduler tab defines conditions for events that should occur and generates alerts if they do not. These events are defined in a calendar with specific days and times. If they are not received by the system, an alert will be generated for the operator's attention. This feature is especially useful for banks and vaults. For example, 10 minutes after a vault is opened, the closing event should be received. If it's not received within the given time, an automatic alert is generated. Scheduler is also valuable for initiating periodic camera verification rounds. Lastly, the Remote Commands option allows for the configuration of remote commands to the alarm panel. For instance, this can be used to activate or deactivate the panel through our SmartPanics application. Congratulations! You've successfully completed the SoftGuard 101 training course. We trust you found this course to be valuable and informative. If you have any questions or need further assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out to our dedicated training and technical support teams through our support center. Thank you for choosing SoftGuard, and we look forward to welcoming you in our upcoming courses.